Hi everyone, so today we're going to be doing Lilo and Stitch art. I'm going to be drawing Stitch with Posca markers. Real simple. I'm going to use the blue paper so we're not wasting a lot of our markers. So I'm not using a cardstock today. I'm using a blue. It's like a paper. This white one is the one that I use as a cardstock. I'm going to pick up some colored cardstock later on today. So we have the Stitch here all drawn out. I'm going to be using some of those alpha acrylic paint markers because I'm running out of my Posca white and black. And when I had bought this new set of paint markers, that's the reason why I didn't buy any Poscas. So I'm going to be using the alpha acrylic and pink markers. But I've been having an issue with those markers. So I ended up purchasing another set of Posca pastel, and I ordered a separate black and white because the black and white comes in a Posca set of 25. I'm not going to buy a set of 25 markers. I don't need it. So I just ended up paying $10 for just a white and a black. They're like $4 each on Amazon, free shipping, but you got to pay tax. So right now we're going to be filling in Stitch's ear, letting it dry. You're going to see some parts of this video. I'm going to have the outline done just because I'm including this video in my shorts so I can kill two birds with one stone. So right now I'm coming in with some of the white so we can do the highlights on his eyes. Coming doing some white on the teeth. And then later on I'm going to come on with alpha acrylic ink paint marker for the white to finish it up, just because I don't have no more white. I feel like I'm scratching the paper right now. So I'm going to come in with some red, do the inside of his mouth. So right now I'm doing first passes. I'm just laying the paint down. I'm not really too worried about the color because you're going to see like the blue showing through the paper. I mean through the marker. So once that dries, we'll just come back later on and hit it again. But it'll take a few minutes to dry. The blue, on the other hand, that dark blue saturates the paper well just because it's darker. So I'm going to do it the inside of his paws, his hands, and his fingernails, just because those are the darker areas. Here I'm going to lay down some like sky blue. You really can't tell, but it's because of the glare of the paper and because it's the first pass. So once I do the second pass, it's going to really pop. It's just that the lighting on this side of my desk has the glare. If I put it on the opposite side, like I've mentioned in my previous video, it looks a lot better. Like here, you can see it pop, the color. But the thing is that my hand gets in the way. So I don't really want to move my desk to the opposite side of the room just because it won't look right. So now I'm coming back in. Everything's dried up and I'm hitting it the second pass, and you see the color is going to pop right now. I would do these on canvases. I love canvases, guys, but the problem is I have so many canvases here, so much work that I'm working on that I don't have space. So I'm just doing these on paper and cardstock because my daughter, she wants some of these framed in her room. But I recommend you guys really do these on a canvas panel, just because if you're working really hard on these pieces, you don't want them on paper. And then you can even sell these guys. There's a lot of people out there that like to buy I call this pop art, pop culture. That's what they call it, I guess. And there's really people willing to buy this. So if you're putting it on canvas and you develop your technique and you have the really nice clean lines, you can sell them. So why not, instead of drawing it on paper and wasting all the markers, put it on a canvas panel or even on a box canvas. You can go to Michael's, Amazon. They sell packs of canvases, like a 10 pack of canvas for like $10 free shipping. So you're basically paying $1 for each canvas. So you guys should look into that. So right now I slowed it down so you guys can see the line work better, because coloring it is easy. Focusing here on the line work, taking my time, starting that line over just because I want it to be uniform, and coming in, holding the paper so it doesn't slide underneath, because if I don't hold the paper, it will slide, then I mess the line up. So as you can see, I'm just moving my hand, I'm moving the elbow back so I can get that clean uniform line, so I'm not jumping around and connecting the lines. You can connect the lines out. You're going to see me doing that in this video, but this is something about having that one nice sweep. So I'm going to do the top of his head, turning the page, just because some of this area is wet. We don't want to make mistakes. And even if it wasn't wet, I'm still going to turn the paper. It's just easier, so you can get better movement. Building up above his eye. I would sharpen up these lines, but I noticed that when I look at the Stitch pictures online, they don't really have the sharpness. They're just fat lines. If I were to sharpen them up, that's a preference, but I didn't do that in this video. On the top of his head, his eyebrows, upper eyebrows. Trying to connect the lines. Now you can see once you start adding the black outline, his eyes start to pop. Taking my time, I don't want to mess the paper up because it's a blue. And then, you know, this is one is to save blue marker by doing it this way, and to have a cleaner piece. So you're not, you know, using up all your marker, but it just looks a lot cleaner. And I also like doing it this way because when I do paintings, if I'm doing faces or I'm doing my characters, I usually spray paint the backing, and then I just finish it up with an outline, with a black marker outline. I'm gonna upload a video either today or tomorrow. I'm gonna do a toxic SpongeBob, so stay tuned for that. And I'm gonna be using some acrylic paint, because technically I could use acrylic. We can use acrylic paint on this whole piece and just use the black marker as the outline, and you can get, the paint is a lot cheaper. But with the paint markers, you know, you don't have to use a paintbrush. You don't have to wash the brushes. You know, you could take your, you know, your markers anywhere. I like going to the beach when I take my when I want to go paint. When I'm at the beach, I like bringing my paint markers. You know, I don't want to bring a bunch of paint and, you know, brushes and all this. So paint markers, like I said, they're a tool. But there's many ways you can fill in a bunch of areas that I'm going to show in my SpongeBob video. Toxic SpongeBob, do something different. Everyone's always doing SpongeBob, but it's always the same stuff. I want to do something different, so I'm going to do a toxic SpongeBob. So stay tuned for that video. So right now I'm working on the lower part of his mouth, and I'm going to connect this. I could do one sweep, but I want you guys to get a better look at this. You know, let the paper dry. You know, you could use your thumb as a guide, your pinky as a guide. You know, you could lay your hand on the paper. It doesn't really matter. But here I'm doing 2 sweeps, and I'm just moving my wrist. You know, my fingers don't move. It's just a wrist movement. And then here I'm going to do a sliding hand movement, where I'm going to connect the top mouth, just because it has a wave in it. So here I go, connecting it and just sliding my hand by moving my elbow back. I'm not really sliding my hand. It's my elbow going back. So just picture my elbow being pushed back. That's what you're trying to achieve there. Now I'm coming in, filling in his teeth with these big bold lines. So even though I didn't get good coverage on the white and it looks like a little sloppy, once you add the black outline, everything starts to come together. That's why I say just fill it in. Don't worry too much. You can always correct at the end and focus more on your technique and your focus, so you can have your nice clean lines. So we're doing the inside of his nose right now. I wasn't gonna do the outline on his nose, but I feel like this piece needs it. If not, it looks bland. I don't know. It just makes it pop. So I'm gonna do his hands now. Connect them. The hands are real simple. They're just like cloud bumps. That's what I call them. You're doing like, yeah, if you guys ever drawn clouds, it's like real simple to draw clouds, but I call them cloud bumps. And now I'm doing his chest, real simple, little zigzag. So a little fur on his chest. Doing the other side of his hand. Connecting the lines. Sliding my hand. So hope you guys are practicing that movement. It's a good technique and it's valuable. So make sure you're practicing even on scrap paper, because it's going to come in handy whenever you want to do really large pieces. So now I'm going to finish up his nose, round it off, connect it. As I said, now it's starting to pop. I thought it didn't need it, but I realized now I think this needs it. Because the picture my reference that I saw from this has the circled nose. So there you go, guys. All done. Really simple stitch. With the blue backing, and I use a little bit of pink, a little bit of white, peach, red, and a dark blue, and a little bit of baby blue for his chest and his eyes. And do the final touch-ups, and there you go. It's all done, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a try. Thanks for watching Fas Factory. Here's some of my art. I'm the artist. Here's my studio and tons of my work on my channel. I have my original work, of course, on my channel. I have portrait paintings, abstract, tons of stuff. So make sure you guys check out my videos, comment, like, and share, and subscribe because I got much more coming.